Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat Reality. I'm Molly,
And Michael?
and today we're excited to be talking about season 8 of Love Island USA. Just started on Tuesday night last week, so we've got a week under us about of Love Island, and episodes already off to start here. First off, what are you thinking of this season so far, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. It took me a few episodes to really get invested, I think, this season. And as longer than I think it took for season 6 and 7. Like, I was enjoying it from the very start, but I think I just wasn't as fully in it, fully invested in these people. And I think it took until probably like the second half of episode 4 where I was like, okay, now we're in it. Now we have a season. Like, I am invested. I think we have a good. I felt like this is a good start, a good cliffhanger that we have at the end here where I'm excited to see what's to come.
Yeah, I agree. I think it. I've also been seeing some of this discourse online where people are like, "I'm already bored. Like, do I continue?" And I think yes. Like, I mean, I was also like, I feel like in the very first episode, you're just like getting to know people, so you can't really expect too much from that one. And then once the couples start to form and things start to develop, like bombshells and all of that who come in, like obviously more drama is gonna come. So I feel like because the start has been slow, doesn't mean it's like that's the show is gonna be like the entire time. Like I think that's just because right now that's how it is, but it doesn't mean it's going to continue in that way. And obviously, what you're saying with this most recent episode with that cliffhanger, like that's getting people hooked, of course, of like knowing what's going to happen there. But I think overall, like, I think I'm enjoying it just because I love Love Island overall, but I do wish like we get more excitement coming up soon.
Yeah, like I think the one thing that scared me in the first couple episodes was that it felt like they were having the same conversations over and over again. I'm like in episode 3, like, God, we're still talking about who stepped on a green dot and who stepped on a red dot. I was like, I just don't care anymore. Like, I feel like they're taking like the smallest thing. They knew each other for like a few hours at that point, and it was like, really, we're gonna make this like 3 episodes worth of drama. But now that we've had some more bombshells come in, we've had some more moments from this challenge that we had in the most recent episode that I think stirred up a lot more. And I'm now a lot more optimistic about the direction that we're going to be heading in. And, look, we're not always going to have a Huda and a Jeremiah toxic relationship. I don't think that it's as like dark and toxic feeling as season 7 was. It feels like we're having more fun this year so far. And look, it's still very early, but I do feel like the tone of this season has potential to be a little bit lighter than we had last season, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's what the world needs right now. So
Exactly.
it's great. It's great TV. Keep on the background and don't feel too emotional when you watch it.
Exactly.
But let's go into then some of these couples. So starting with what seems to be, I think, the most unproblematic couple in my opinion is Anaya and Casey. So they originally matched actually because they didn't have like Casey didn't have anyone on his door, and then Anaya wasn't chosen by Sincere because he chose Melanie. So they kind of happened coincidentally in a way, but ended up being a really strong couple now, it seems. So I really like them so far. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, kind of wild that this is the way they started. I feel like if they continue to be a strong couple in a couple weeks, nobody's going to remember that that's how they started. Like, it'll be wild to look back and, oh my God, they just kind of by accident just happened together. But yeah, for sure, right now they are the strongest couple. I feel like they're the couple that we see the least of just because nothing that dramatic or entertaining is necessarily happening with them. It's very similar to like a Love is Blind couple that you just kind of see in the background and you're like, yep, I guess they're having no issues because we're just not really seeing much of them. But look, in a week, we could be saying completely different story. Who knows? All it takes is one bombshell to come in that catches KC's eye or an eye's eye, and they're done so I think it'll, in a week, if they are still really, really strong, I will feel much better about saying, like, yeah, I think they're going to be our steady couple. But right now there haven't been too many options that have come in to turn either of their heads. But as of right now, yeah, I think they are for sure the strongest, most steady couple that we have.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because really only see Anaya. I feel like recent moments have been with her and the girls. Like we haven't really seen her and Casey together as much, like as much as we saw maybe earlier on because they were still forming as a couple. But now that there's no problems with them, it's like okay, let's go on to the drama and see what's happening there. Because then obviously like they stayed together. They when they had to choose the green dot or the red dot, they both chose the green dot there, and that's really what the testament was of showing that they were a strong couple. I mean, well, another couple that did that we'll get to later that maybe is on the rocks now, but for them, they're definitely looking strong. Next up, let's get into Kata and Zach. So Kata was our first female bombshell, first bombshell coming in when she got to kiss the guys who stood on the red dots, and one of those guys was Zach, so that's why they're now coupled up. But Zach was originally coupled with Kenzie, so that caused drama, obviously, because Kenzie she did stand on the green dot, wanting to stay with Zach, and Zach just did not feel her because he only likes dark features and not blondes, supposedly. So, what did you think about first Zach and Kenzie, and then we get into more of Kata and Zach?
Yeah, I mean, I think I posted something on Blue Sky that was like about Zach and Kenzie being like, I'm gonna tell my kids that this was Hannah and Charlie. I like Zach so far. I think that it feels like he is. I never side with guys versus girls on most of these shows. I'm kind of siding with Zach over Kenzie in most of this, but I like Kenzie. Kenzie is so cracked that she is so perfect for this show, and I love her on this, and I don't want her to go anywhere anytime soon. But I do think that she is very much over dramatizing what happened with Zach. Like they knew each other for like less than 24 hours, probably.
I know.
So like for her to be that upset with him, where she is not willing to have any sort of conversations with him, is seems like a massive overreaction. But I think with Kata and Zach, I don't know that I see them making it the distance. That maybe that's a hot take. I think that Kata is going to. I think Zach is actually probably going to stick with her for a while, but I think Kata is going to not be afraid to look other directions when new bombshells come in.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, I mean, when we saw Corbin come in, I feel like Kato was really excited about that. So I feel like she's already like can turn her head a little bit versus with Zach, I feel like he's like locked in right now on Kata. So we'll have to see what happens there. But I feel like, I mean, as right now, like they seem like a good couple, but obviously things will change in this split second in the Love Island villa. So it's like, you never know what will happen.
Yeah, like that. I'm not saying I don't haven't seen anything in particular that's telling me that that's going to happen. I just feel like just knowing from what we've seen of Kada, it feels like she wants to be someone to explore all options, which is well within her right and is part of the show. Absolutely. Like I'm not saying this in a negative way at all. I just think that she is not going to be someone to just get locked down and then not look at anyone else for the rest of the time she's there.
Yeah, agreed. So we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, with Kenzie going back to that situation with her and Zach, I feel like she even was telling the girls, like, oh, Zach said I'm not his type. And then the next day she's like crying her eyes out, like, he didn't tell me any signs that he wouldn't want to pick me. And then obviously, like, he did say you were not his type to your face.
He
So
did. And that
I
was
think
what
that,
worried you. That's why I thought, because we were on the phone trying to watch together the premiere. And I think I said, like, at the time, I was like, I think that Kenzie is going to be on red and Zach's going to be on green. And then it turned out to be the total opposite. Just because from the last thing we had heard from Kenzie before that, it's not really a challenge. I don't know, whatever you call it. But before that, the last thing we had heard from her was her saying that he told her that she's not his type and that she didn't like that he said that. And So I thought, oh, she's going to either they're both going to go on red, which actually maybe was more likely, I thought. But I guess she was more willing to stick it out than it seemed like from what we had seen.
I know, but now it seems like she's doing okay. So she just needed a little bit of a moment, and now she moved on pretty quickly after that.
Yeah.
Let's get into Bea and Gabrielle. So Bea originally she was with Sean, and then there was that drama as well because they seem to be a strong couple. Like in that first episode, like we were talking about that, you and I were like, oh wow, like I thought they could go the distance, and then obviously lots can change. But because then Bea seems to really want to explore now with Gabrielle, and they seem like really close. So she just didn't see it as much with Sean, which I mean, totally fair. It was 24 hours, so wasn't that much time that they knew each other. But what do you think about them right now? And I forgot to say, Gabrielle was the guy bombshell who came in to
Hmm.
sweep the girls away to their paradise cove.
Yeah, I mean, look, right now they seem to be kind of in the honeymoon phase of their coupling, but Gabriel seems to me like somebody who is going to look at every single bombshell that comes in. And I don't think that this coupling is going to last because
No.
he is going to, every single time a bombshell comes in, he is going to flirt with them and make out with them. And then Bay is going to eventually just say, I've had it. I can't be with somebody who's going to explore that much as I think he will. So I don't think that this is going to be a long term thing. But right now, they do seem to have good chemistry.
Yeah, I agree. It just seems like both of them honestly kind of will turn their heads pretty quickly because even Bea with the new bombshell coming in, Corbin, like she was like, oh yeah, like I could see myself with him too. So I'm
Mm.
like, okay, like we'll see what happens. But I think as of right now, like they're gonna stay together, but I don't see that happening. Like I think I could definitely see them breaking up in the near future.
Do you think Bea is going to be the type to be jealous like the first time that he does that? Or because I could see a world where Bea is okay with it like the first time and to be like, okay, I want him to talk to people, I want him to explore, but then like it happens a second time, a third time, or even with the same girl, maybe he has like multiple conversations and then like at some point she kind of just has enough. But I don't know that I see her being like an immediate jealous because like she was the
Yeah.
one who was kind of like coaching Sean, or was it Sean? No, sorry. Uh who am I thinking of? Zach, right? About Kenzie? Like
Oh
to be
yeah,
like, this is what you need to
yeah,
say, this is like what girls want to hear. So it feels like almost she like it would be kind of hypocritical for then her to kind of be in the Kenzie position and be that jealous person when she was kind of like almost trying to be like one of the guys ish, being like, I'm not that girl. Like, here's what girls need to hear. So
yeah.
I don't know that she would be the one to be that in that position.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I mean, she didn't seem like too upset about when Gabrielle and Kenzie spoke either. I mean, she was more upset with Kenzie than she was about Gabrielle talking to her, you know? So I was like, it's more, she just wants someone to be honest with her. And if Gabrielle would have been like, it's just straight up and saying, like, I'll explore some other people, like, she would be totally fine. It might be when she's not okay is when it's like really just like getting to a point, what you're saying, it's like, a lot of it's happening and then he's not being as upfront with her, then that could definitely cause some issues there for her. But I mean, maybe she'll also be exploring elsewhere, so we'll have to
True.
see.
Yeah. And that's not to say like I could also see her doing that as well. I do feel like she would probably be more communicative with him about it maybe than he will be.
Yeah. Yeah, so just lots to see what's happening, a lot to come in Love Island, but these are our initial reactions of them. But then let's get into Trinity and Bryce. They're an interesting couple because they did couple up together, but then they both chose to not be together, and then they came back to each other because they both were not chosen by the bombshells.
Talk
So, what
about
do
a
you?
Billie Eilish boomerang,
Yeah,
though.
exactly. That's what it felt like here.
Hmm.
But what were your thoughts so far on them?
Yeah, I mean, they are the worst couple potentially in Love Island history, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
can
but
I let me try to think of a couple that has less chemistry. Maybe Austin and Shelley.
yeah, I think Austin and Shelley was worse.
But like they have zero chemistry with each other. They, I guess, just kind of had matching answers in the first game, and so they thought, "Oh, let's give this a try." But they are totally just friends, if that. And I think it's so funny though that they just both said no, and then because they neither of them got chosen by the bombshell, then they just were put right back together. Like, I feel like if anything, Kenzie and Sean should be an official couple and they should be the singles. Like, that feels like that's more fitting. But they, yeah, I mean, I hope that somehow they end up together the entire season. I think that would be so funny. Just like somehow, because of however the mechanics of the game work, they're never able to escape each other. And that would be a very, very funny running gag for the season. But no, I don't think that's going to happen. I think a week from now, by the next time we talk, they will not be together anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, I mean, they're still good with each other. Like they don't have any issues with each other. Just more, just they don't have that romantic spark. So at
Well,
least
they
that just
might have
makes.
issues with each other now. I
Oh,
mean, during the challenge, Trinity chose Bryce as the person who was faking it for a promotion, and that seemed to really upset him. I think they did talk after that,
yeah,
and they did kind of seem to clear the air a little bit. That she, I think he said something like they're building a foundation of a relationship, and so that seemed to like click with her as being like, okay, maybe that is what we're doing. But no, I don't think that's what they're doing. And I think that as soon as either one of them, a bombshell comes in with more chemistry, like they're not going to hesitate for 1 second to look that way, and they shouldn't.
yeah. I mean, they both already had done it, so
Yeah.
I feel like it's just bound to happen again. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, because I feel like after that conversation, though, I did think like, oh, like maybe Bryce isn't so upset about this, but he's just probably saying that to save face right now because he doesn't want to go home. Um,
Yeah, I mean, nobody, I think, wants to show everybody that they are hurt by someone that they've only known for a couple of days. Like, I think that someone like Bryce just doesn't want to seem too like simpy like that, I guess, and doesn't want to show that. But it's clear that he was hurt by it, and he admitted it.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But we'll see. It seems like as of now, like they'll stay together. Obviously, what we're saying, but with them not liking each other, they're definitely gonna want the bombshells who come in.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see who those are because I really like Trinity. I think she's fun to watch. So I want her to stay in. And I saw also Bryce doesn't really bother me. So like I don't mind if he stays also.
No, I love Trinity. I think that she is. I mean, should we talk about the first game that they played in the third episode? I think it was that she mentioned that daylight savings time taught her, was the cause for her to do something in the car with her mother there. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry, anybody who admits that on national television is couldn't be me, but thank you for your service.
Yeah. Agreed. We're getting some great clips from her for sure.
Hmm.
So
I'm blaming everything on daylight savings time now. It's my new thing.
yeah, how would that help? Is it just because it was darker or
I
lighter?
think
Like
because it
what?
was darker, yeah,
Darker?
but which would be not daylight savings time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like. She got it wrong bad because it's the
Hmm.
opposite way.
Yes, but I think she just meant it had changed
Yeah.
either direction, I guess. But also, I mean, these people don't know where New Hampshire is. Do we think they know what daylight savings time is?
No, I know. I was gonna mention that we talked about Kata. That was so funny when she was like, even when Melanie, she lives in Pennsylvania, Philly, doesn't know where New Hampshire is. I was like, okay, that's a problem. Like, you should know your geography. I can name every state without even the names of them on the state, like just the outlines of the states. So like maybe I have a little bit of good geography skills, but like I think everyone should know where New Hampshire is.
Yeah, look, I mean, I can't do that. So, like, I am not, geography is my weakness, probably of any subject, but I at least have an idea of where New Hampshire is, certainly, and I would not admit that on national television, even if I didn't.
Yeah, no, the fact that they all were like, no, where is that?
Right, they didn't even hesitate. Like none of them were like, "Yeah, I think
And why did
so."
Kata ask, do you know where that is?
Right. I mean, I'm sure that that's not the first time. Like, I guess it's just a common thing that she gets from people. But like,
Yeah.
did people? Did how did she find out that people didn't know that she was talking to? Like, did people just admit that to her? Because I feel like if somebody told me I'm from New Hampshire, that's not my answer. Even if I had no clue, even if I had never heard of New Hampshire somehow, I would not say, "Oh, is that a country?" Where what did people say to her?
Yeah, no, you would just say, oh, that's cool.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So like I don't know how she found that out, but anyways.
I know all the questions I feel like people are asking this season so far are also like some of these like, do you actually need to know all this stuff? But
Hmm.
it's Love Island. They have a lot of time.
Yeah. Also I think are these COVID like high schoolers?
They must be.
I
I
wonder if
feel
that played a
yeah.
impact on that.
Well, they're like 22. A lot of these are like 22, 24.
Right. So COVID was 6 years ago. They
Yeah,
were,
so
I
then they would
guess,
have been in high
then
school.
60. Yeah. So maybe that impacted their progress.
Yeah. Well,
I don't
see.
know.
I mean, yeah, it depends on schools that you go to, whatever. But like, yeah, I don't know. Their geography skills are lacking for sure. But as we mentioned, Melanie, let's get into now Melanie and Sincere. So they've got some ups and downs already starting these first four episodes. You were drawing a little bit maybe the parallel with Hoda Jeremiah, not exactly the same, but similar-ish to the vibes that we're getting. But they really seem to be really strong. First off, they stayed together. Also, when they had the option to go to the green or red dots, they both were on the green dots. So things were looking up until then, when Sincere wanted to pull Kata to talk to her, and it wasn't even like that serious of a conversation, but because he didn't go to Melanie about it, she got really upset hearing about it and obviously seeing the conversation that was happening. So, what are your thoughts so far on that part before we get into more of the recent stuff too?
Yeah, I mean, look, I was really confident about their chances in the first couple episodes. I thought they seemed really solid and they seemed to have a really good, flirty chemistry with each other that I thought, okay, like this seems like a good, strong start. It felt like to me that Anaya and Casey were maybe the strongest, and then Melanie and Sincere were like right behind them, if not even if not higher, because they actually chose each other,
I agree.
unlike Anaya and Casey. But then, yeah, you could see the signs in episode three, at the beginning of episode three, where she starts to get a little bit insecure and she starts saying, like, that it was scared that he was going to get sick of her and that people get sick of her and have that's happened to her in the past. And so I think you could kind of see her start to spiral a little bit, and then it all just came crashing down in the last episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And I feel like now with the new bombshell who came in during the challenge, obviously that kind of I think and that was the perfect moment for Melanie too because she was already feeling like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I feel like yeah, we are getting a little bit of toxicity because she's like, well, if he's gonna cheat, I'll just cheat back. Like we're seeing that conversation, like her talking to Trinity, and she's like, yeah, same girl. Like I was like, oh gosh, but I feel like it is Love Island. Like you're not really cheating. Like you're not exclusive with someone while you're there, unless you say you're exclusive. So it's just her exploring her options, and maybe she's gonna not want to be with Sincere anymore because of this. But with her saying Corbin was her type and having their moment, and then now when they had their chat in this last episode, I think that she's definitely really feeling she wants to recouple. As my guess as of right now, just because when like you're already feeling kind of on the rocks like that. Like I mean, I think they could get back to each other and like maybe build back up what they were having, but they already have some trust issues now, and that's never going to be great to repair. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes in this next episode.
Yeah, I think that we've seen Melanie just be a very, just have a lot of insecurities. And I think that it's very clear that she does not trust Sincere. And I don't know. I'm curious to see her with somebody else in the future to see whether she has these same insecurities or whether this is Sincere and his talk behavior, his lack of communication, his talking with other people, like whether it's a him thing or whether it's just okay, this is going to be Melanie no matter who she's in a relationship with. But I didn't love what I saw from her in the last episode, especially. I think that her pulling Corbin immediately, he's talking to all the girls and then she just is jumps in to be the first to go talk to him. Like it feels like to me like she is purposely doing this to get back at Sincere, like that she is wanting him to see her go off on a chat with Corbin, and she's wanting him to feel the same jealousy that she felt with him. And I don't think that's ever a good way to start a relationship. So I don't think this is going to work out with Corbin because I don't think that she really cares to have it work out with Corbin. She just is using Corbin to get back at Sincere.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I mean, she kind of said that to us in a way that she's like, "Well, I can just be toxic right back."
Right, exactly.
Like if that's how she feels, then that's not for a lasting relationship, but that's for some drama, which I guess
Oh,
kind of
thank you for your
drama.
service. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you think of Melanie's little tiff with Bea?
Yeah, that's like what's weird to me because I would think like the girls would be supporting each other. So here, when we've already seen like now Bea coming, not really coming out, but really just like sharing her opinion on thinking that Melanie just shouldn't have pulled him right away, and that it could have been Kenzie first because she's single, the one who's single, and Melanie's in a couple, and Melanie took offense to that. I feel like in that moment her emotions were already at a heightened state, so it was like she just couldn't really handle any kind of criticism of that. And like I don't even think it was that bad of a criticism. Like it was like, yeah, like fair, like, and she did acknowledge that she did pull him, and like she maybe didn't even realize that. Like I don't know how much she didn't realize that, but that's what she's saying to us. But that she didn't realize like she was leaning in and blocking Kenzie from seeing him. But I think as a whole, like they'll get past it. I think it's more just right now, Bea is just trying to tell her how everyone else was seeing it, and Melanie just didn't want to hear it like that. And because of that, Melanie is like, she's like, give me 10, give me 10. She needs her 10 minutes.
Do you think she said it 10 times?
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
count.
I think the editing did that. But I think she said it like at least three,
Hmm.
but not 10.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that I could see both sides of this actually with Melanie and Bea because I think that Bea was right in at least most of what she was saying to Melanie. But
Yeah.
I think the problem is I think that Bea came off a little bit condescending. Like I think when she said that I don't remember the exact words of it, but it was something to the effect of like I'm correcting you. I'm correcting your behavior. And I think that verbiage is a little bit condescending and a little bit like this isn't a conversation anymore. This is like a scolding. And I think that that's how Melanie took it. And that was maybe what upset her the most. But I don't think that Bea was wrong. Like, I do think that Melanie was doing a little bit too much there. And like the way that she was just, I don't even know that she, like I said before, like I don't think that it was, Corbin could have been anybody. And I think that Melanie just wanted to was waiting for her moment to be able to pull him so that she could walk right past Sincere and he would see all of it. And that was it. She probably wasn't listening to a word Corbin was saying or really cared. It was just she was thinking about herself in that moment. But I think that Bea was right that this should have been Kenzie's opportunity first.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, I mean, Bea is, as you said, she's very upfront. And like, I think sometimes maybe she doesn't realize how maybe harsh it's coming across. Like I think that's just her personality. So I think their communication styles were just very different in that moment too. That kind of caused more of that rift there. But I think like it's all gonna smooth over. I think it just was just in this moment like that this was happening, and with the we don't know what's happening with the recoupling and all that. I mean, they don't even know that's happening, but like we know next episode that's happening. So I think there's just a lot at stake, especially for the single girls. So she was looking out for Kenzie, who she wants to stay. So I think with that, like it's just gonna see like what happens next. But for right now, Melanie needs her time. So
She needs 10. Give her
yep.
10. How long do you think it is after she gets out of the villa before she makes Give Me 10 merch?
I don't know. We just see how far she makes it if she can sell it.
Right. If she lasts another, like 4 or 5 weeks, maybe we won't even remember this moment so much anymore, and there'll be something else more iconic. But
I
right
do like
now, I
it.
think if her family put that out tomorrow, I think it would sell at least a decent amount.
Yeah, I could see that. So she can get some commission off that now.
Hmm.
But we'll have to see what happens. But now, as we were kind of mentioning Kenzie and Sean before, let's get a little bit more into them as they are singles, but they seem to be kind of together, like in the same way. Like even though that they're single, they've been kissing each other. He's making her breakfast. So, what are your thoughts on them?
When they kissed in the morning, like when he brought her breakfast, and somebody said, "Did I miss a chapter?" I felt the same way. I was like,
No, I
"Where
think
did
he
this
said, "Did
come
I miss an
from?"
episode?" Which is
Yeah,
backwards.
yeah, yeah. Right. I was totally lost in that moment because it was like, yeah, we'd seen them talk, and certainly like they seemed to be bonding over kind of being in the same situation, but I did not see them like just all of a sudden being basically in a couple. And yeah, it feels that way now, and I I see potential. I think that it helps that they were able to bond over that. Like I think that was just a natural connection that they had. And it for kind of in the same way that maybe Anaya and Casey were forced together. It almost kind of feels like in a similar way they were forced together, but those kind of seem to be the two healthiest relationships. So
I know.
maybe more Love Island couples need to just kind of be forced together in a married at first sight kind of way.
Yeah. It's like when you don't want someone, then you do. It's like, oh, actually, maybe.
Well, I think it gives them something in common. Like it makes them like commiserate with each other, and it makes them like almost a light trauma bond, if you will, maybe, which like maybe isn't the healthiest way to start a relationship, but in this way, I think it gives them something like to cut out the awkward small talk, and so it just gives them like something to just like vent to each other, and then naturally they feel more comfortable in front of each other, and then they get to know each other better, and maybe it's just like that helps the ball rolling in an organic, less awkward way.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, I think overall, though, like, I don't see them, like, really lasting super long. I think right now they do seem like a good couple ish, but I feel like long term wise, like, both of them will look elsewhere at the
Mhm.
bombshells who come in if they end up coupling up together this time. Like, I think they are gonna stay at least right now. They'll stay together. Right? Like, there's no other bomb. Oh, but besides, I mean, Kenzie could go with Corbin, but I don't know. We haven't really seen them talk, so I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I don't either.
But we'll just have to see um, what happens. And also, well, what's interesting too is when she was talking to Gabrielle, I was like, oh, like it seemed like maybe they were vibing a little bit, but I just think it's because Gabrielle just flirts with everyone. And that's the sense I was getting, and not that they were like actually going to be a couple, because obviously Bea and Gabrielle still seem like the stronger couple between if it was Gabrielle and Kenzie, or Gabrielle and Bea. Obviously, I'd be choosing Bea there. So I think with that, like Kenzie knew that too. So she's gonna, I think, stay with Sean for now. But we'll have to see what happens.
No, I totally agree. I mean, he's made it pretty clear that he's more into Bea than he is to Kenzie, and so I think that that's not going to work out for Kenzie. But Yeah, I mean, I do think that there is a very strong chance that a bombshell will come in pretty soon here, and either Kenzie or Sean or both of them will look in that direction, and not certainly not be afraid to talk to others. And they're not exclusive. I do not think that they are right now strong enough to where they either one of them would be upset if the other one tried to go talk to a bombshell. But I do think that if in a week they still have not, neither of them have found a connection with the bombshell and they're both still there, I do think that there is a lot of potential for them to start to look seriously at each other and be like, should we just make this exclusive and try to make this work? And I think they have that foundation now that I think they will choose each other until a bombshell comes and breaks them apart. So I think they have a strong foundation right now that they're building, and I support it. I like them together.
Yeah, I do too. She does not as insecure it seems like as she was with Zach, so that's a good thing. And yeah, they seem to be having a good connection so far. So I'm interested to see where it can go. So more to come on their side of things too. But then let's get into Corbin, our bombshell, who came in this last episode. He arrived during the first challenge, and then he secretly kissed all the girls at their little, what was it, the money machine thing that they were in there getting
Hmm.
money. But then he ended up kissing all of them, and they came out. All the girls came out individually, pretending like nothing happened, and no, none of the guys knew until he came in that night and said they already met. And the guys are like, "What?" So that was interesting to see. I mean, I feel like the girls could have told the guys, but they just were trying to keep it a secret because obviously, I think probably producers wanted this
I
moment.
was gonna say I don't think
Yeah,
they would. I think they told them don't say anything.
yeah. So I think they were kind of forced to do that. I mean, like for the show purposes, it made sense. But it was fun to see that kind of secret session happening. But then having him come in, I think that also broke the ice really well for Corbin in a way because like he was able to already meet all of the girls individually in that room, in their individual room, and so this is great for Corbin, I would say. But we'll have to see who he wants or who of the girls want to take him. Right now, we obviously think it might be Melanie just for the retaliation portion, but we'll see. Also, because she says he's her type, but overall, like it's interesting. Obviously, seeing the 22-year-old again. I'm like, come bring like the 27, 28-year-olds in here because they're all talking about
Right.
like relationships and marriage, and I'm like, you're a baby. Like that's so young to be
I'm like,
thinking
you were
about that.
born in 2004.
Yeah,
Like, please, that is concerning to me.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, look, we've seen basically nothing of Corbin's like personality so far. He seems to, all the girls seem to be really into him, so I think he has his pick of the litter, whatever he direction he wants to go in. I think he could probably make happen right now. But so I'm interested to see what he will choose. But yeah, it was funny to me because like in the challenge, somehow I missed the part that that was the goal for like that the guys thought they were going in there to get money. So I was like the whole time I was like, what do they think they're doing in there? Like if without them knowing that there's a guy in there, like do they think they're just going in there like for nothing? But then I realized afterwards like, oh, they were trying to get money ostensibly to win, even though nobody ever wins a Love Island
yeah.
challenge. Like
And this was
there's
fake
no
money. Like,
there's
what
no
was the money?
like, well, but there's no prize. Like, there's no reward for them. Like, they don't
Yeah,
go on a date or anything if they win. So I was like, what do they think they're winning? But anyways, I thought the challenge itself, I actually thought was like giving budget to me. Like the whole setup of it, I feel like compared to the challenges that we usually see on Love Island, this felt like a much larger setup. So I was like, okay, I like the visuals of it all. I thought it was a fun challenge. And I thought it was a fun way to introduce Corbin. So I'm excited to get to know him better in the coming episodes this week.
yeah, I agree. And he caused some drama, so that's a good thing already that we can
That's
see.
he's the bombshells are bombshelling.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
far, I'd say on bombshells, 3 for 3.
Yeah, that is true. Some of the bombshells didn't do so well last season, so this is already off to a great
Hmm.
start. So for the bombshells at least.
Yep.
But we'll have to see obviously Sunday night's episode, what's going to happen with that recoupling is going to be an interesting one. Lots more that will happen. We got to make sure you're up to date on all Love Island because you will get caught behind really quickly if you don't
Yes, it's a
stay up.
show that is so much more fun to watch in real time with everybody, especially we're going to have votes coming up. I'm sure there will be one this coming week. So it's important to stay in so that you can get involved and you get a lot more invested when you're voting and trying to support your favorites. And it's very very fun to watch in real time and keep up with. So be sure you don't get too far behind because, like you said, it's hard to catch up because there's an episode 5 nights a week, or really 6 if you count After Sun, which apparently we do not have an After Sun tonight, but we will starting next Saturday. So that one's not as important. It's just kind of an after show, but those it's fun. It's sometimes you get interviews with the new bombshells before they come in, so you get to know them there first, and so it's fun, but it's less required viewing, I guess, if you're trying to catch up when you fall behind.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like there's going to be lots of drama, hopefully, coming up as we haven't seen as much happen yet, which I guess, I mean, could be a good thing because, as we're saying, like, maybe we don't need the messiness like we got last season. So we'll see
I
what
think
happens.
there's a difference between messiness, which is fun, which is what I think we've gotten so far. Like I think Melanie in this last episode has provided us with the messiness, but as long as it doesn't get too toxic and dark like Huda and Jeremiah did, that became where it was like affecting the whole mood of the villa. And I think that is when it's like, okay, it's time for something to change. But right now, I think we're in the fun messiness category that I hope we stay that way because it feels like, okay, now we have some drama. Now we have some beef between the girls, even. And I'm excited to see where it all lands in the next coming episodes.
Yes. So we'll be talking about this every week. So be sure you're subscribed at Let's Chat or wherever you listen to the podcast, Let's Chat Reality, also on social media everywhere. So follow us, subscribe, rate us 5-star reviews, and we'll be chatting again next week. Thanks so much for listening.
Bye, everyone.